Hello and welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us here today. You'll see on your screen, we're going to be learning all about this upcoming program here in circular economy and sustainability strategies. We have a fireside chat session here today with your program faculty, Professor Khalid Safani, here to tell us all about this program that he's designed to make available to all of you here. Khalid Safani is the Management Practice Professor of Financial Economics and Policy, Director of the Cambridge Executive MBA Program, and Director of the Circular Economy Center, as well as Fellow of Clare Hall College here at the University of Cambridge Judge Business School. Professor Safani, would love to invite you in to say hello as we kickstart the show here today.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every single one of you from wherever you're joining. And welcome to our webinar all the way from Cambridge. Thank you very much, Marie.
Thank you, Professor Safani. We're going to be hearing all about this course from Professor Safani, his background, recommendations, advice. We invite you to stay here with us on the line throughout the call. But we do want to direct you to a few areas where you can get support throughout the session here today. As we make our way through today's webinar, please do place any questions there in that question and answer box, and we'll ensure you get an answer shortly after. So a lot in store here for you as we take a deep dive into this topic of sustainability and learn more about this program. Before we hand over the mic and start talking more broadly here, we want to introduce you to this ecosystem that you're joining here at Cambridge Judge Business School, at this community environment here. Many of you know already, there's pictures there on your screen of University of Cambridge. This is an online program that brings together folks from all across the globe. Many of University of Cambridge is the business school at the heart of the university here. And its mission is to advance knowledge and leadership through people who leave a mark on the world. And this is my favorite piece here because it really highlights the focus of this program, that transformational educational experience, being able to give you the tools and skills that you need to really have an impact, leave a mark on the world. And that's what Cambridge Judge is doing here, bringing together high innovators, creative thinkers, thoughtful, collaborative problem solvers, current and future leaders. This is all of you here in the audience, a huge diversity of backgrounds coming together to learn shoulder to shoulder and gain this rigorous thinking and high impact transformative experience. So welcome to this community of over 250,000 learners from across the globe. We're so pleased to have you here with us. This program in particular, sustainability, it's really designed to be broad. And I'll let Professor Sufani talk more about the ways in which he's designed this program to really broadly expand across geographies, industries, backgrounds, in order to give you the tools and frameworks that you need to bring these concepts to life. So these are frameworks that are going to allow us to really have that impact in our business in the work that we do from day to day. So Professor Svani, I'm going to invite you into the program to speak a little bit more about this topic of sustainability, and in particular, who is this program for? And this is an important question. This is the question of the day, and this is what brings everyone here together on this webinar here. Is this program right for me? So I'd love to invite you into the fireside view here to tell us a little bit more about who you had in mind when you designed this program.
Thank you very much, Marie. Yes, this program is designed to establish a linkage between theory and practice. We cannot actually understand what's happening in reality without understanding what are the theories out there. And we can't validate the theories unless we know what's happening in practice. So people basically are leading organizations, they're managing on an executive level in organizations that are aiming to achieve some kind of sustainability strategy so that they can achieve some kind of sustainability target. It doesn't really matter whether they are in the service industry or the manufacturing sector, it will apply to both. This program will be also offered to people who are contemplating a transformation in their own organizations towards sustainability and sustainability outcomes. So consultants would be also involved, bankers can be involved, government officials can be involved. So we are at this stage where we are trying to be as general as possible and as specific as necessary so that we can increase the awareness. And in addition to that, help people make decisions within their own organization. And again, the emphasis is not only on the for-profit organization, but also for non-for-profit organizations.
Thank you for setting that context for us. I would love to hear more from you as we make our way through this session here about your background and what brought you to this program. I'm going to share the bio slide here that we've prepared for you, Dr. Safani, and it gives a little bit of an overview of some of what you've worked on here. So let me introduce the audience to some of your work, but would love to hear from you as well about how you became an expert in this field and what your personal journey was to this work. But just looking at the bio slide here, we want to share this with the audience just to give them an understanding of some of the work that has gone into this program. This program is designed by two faculty, Professor Sufani together with Osman Cole. Both bring to light different facets of their background and their research here into this program. As you can see, Professor Sufani has published extensively as many across economics and finance journals in areas related to financial management, corporate restructuring, mergers and acquisitions, private equity, venture capital, and family business, as well as the financial and economic affairs of small to medium sized enterprises. So his work includes economic growth and innovation related to the circular economy and fast growing markets and economies, widely cited and international work across various areas and sectors. Before joining academia, Professor Sufani was in investment banking. So he's got that sort of practical experience as well as that research and academic focus. Professor Sufani, I'm going to invite you back in now. There's a lot of words that we covered here, but we'd love to hear from you sort of what inspired you to come into this line of work and what brought you to the point in your career where you've now designed this program and are making this available across the world.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I'm a financial economist by training. As a financial economist, I like to bring financial decisions and financial instruments into economic decisions and economic practices. I mean, over the years, I've been involved in studying the growth and development of small, medium-sized enterprises and their contribution to the economy as a whole, in terms of creating jobs, in terms of GDP contribution, and so on. I look at the economy from a macro perspective, and I do look at the economy from a meso perspective, and I look at the economy from a micro perspective. When we think specifically about the macro perspective, we're talking about growth, we're talking about employment and employment, we're talking about price stability, we talk about a whole range of different elements and government policy. Over the years, we have seen literally a sluggish growth. And the question that has arisen, and that is, how can we invigorate economic growth, especially in specific countries that suffered sluggish growth? Now, we understand, literally from our research, that green growth will contribute immensely to the macroeconomic environment in a country and worldwide. Thinking about sustainability, thinking about an enabler to sustainability, such as the circular economy and how we can enable sustainability through circularity. Literally, there is some evidence, at least, to suggest that we can create more jobs, we can achieve growth, we can increase profitability, we can achieve basically the objectives that companies have aspired to achieve. All organizations need to have a vision, a mission, and a level of ambition. And as far as we're concerned as academics, we would like to identify what is a good vision for companies, countries in general. And sustainability is definitely one of them. But how do you achieve sustainability? Well, the circular economy is an enabler. A mission is literally how do you go about achieving both of these things? Sustainability and the circular economy, innovation, technology, and a whole range of different things. And then the level of ambition is literally about studying and analyzing and measuring impact. So these are the kind of things that I'm really interested in. And that really brought me to developing a program that will bring all of these things together. On the one hand, thinking about green growth, thinking about the three Ps: people, planet, and profit. But in addition to that, thinking about how can literally companies generate profit, create value, achieve literally the objective that they want to achieve, and governments formulating policies that will enable economies to move into the next stage of our history in terms of achieving the kind of objectives that we want to achieve economically, environmentally, socially, technologically, and so on and so forth. That's the area that I'm interested in, and that's why I developed the program the way it is.
Thank you for putting this program together. Certainly, it's needed. And now that it's available across the world, being able to come together with colleagues and like minded peers to study these concepts, put them into practice, and collaborate. You've certainly given us all this opportunity. So, thank you for putting this together. Here's some highlights on those key takeaways for those of you looking to understand what am I going to be able to do by the time I walk away from this program. As Professor Sifani said, you're going to be able to really understand the fundamentals and those frameworks needed to help manage and lead sustainable business practices in your organization, in your industry. So you're going to be able to identify those three dimensions of sustainability that he touched on. We're going to talk about those here in just a moment: society, environment, and economy, their relationship with one another, demonstrate the value of impactful investment, understand how to build cultures of sustainability. We need our coalition of support within and external from our company. So how do we really build that culture And then finally, steps for developing a sustainable business model. And that's really what you're going to be able to do here. This is a what we like to call deep skills building program. So we really challenge you to roll up your sleeves and engage in the learning as you go. We'll talk more about the learning experience. What is that day to day experience like? What is it like in the platform? We'll talk about some more course logistics and so forth as we move along in our session here today. But before we get too far into the logistics, let's talk more about this program and the content while we have Professor Sufani here with us. You mentioned the 3Ps framework. Professor Sufani, can you jump in and tell us a little bit more about this framework and how it helps to guide this program?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. When you think about the three Ps, we're thinking about the first P, which relates to people, and that means society, societal measures. And that is where we think about the quality of life. We think about unemployment. We think about gender equality, income, relative poverty, higher education, average commute time, for example, crime, life expectancies. In other words, we cannot make the important thing here is that we cannot formulate an economic policy without thinking about the impact on the people. Norway should be formulating economic policy that studying the impact on our planet, and that is the environmental measures. So yes, over the years, we've been achieving economic growth. And when we think about this economic growth, this has been literally about consumption, it is about production, and it is about trade. But over the years, we've been over consuming. Over the years, we have been overproducing. Over the years, we've been over trading. And by definition, when we overconsume, we overproduce, and we overtrade, we tend to over exploit our natural resources. And when we exploit our natural resources to the point where there's no point of return, that we're depriving the future generation from enjoying these natural resources. So one of the key elements is that when we think about the 3 Ps, is that think about the planet in addition to people. How can we mine overground as opposed to mining underground, for example? How can we ensure that waste is not wasted? That we can actually use waste as a source of income. We can use waste as capital. We can use waste as a resource. We can use waste as a factor of production. And that is what the whole point of what the circular economy is about. And then we obviously think about the economic and the financial viability of what we do in terms of our vision, in terms of our mission, and in terms of our level of ambition. So what is the impact of, say, for example, establishing a sustainability strategy and a circular economy business model on revenue and cost, on efficiency and productivity, on organizational size and value, on the growth of the organization, on employment, the impacts on the different sectors and different industries, and so on and so forth? Will there be an improvement in the profit margin? Will all companies benefit from that? Maybe some companies might benefit, others might not. Some industries might benefit, others might not. But nevertheless, it's very important to know where we can apply these concepts in which instance, industry, which sector, which type of organization. So the 3 Ps, people, planet, and profit, this is the main theme that we focus on in this program.
I'd love to extend in just a little bit further. You talked about different industries, different organizations, different geographies. As you were designing this program, it looks like it's a pretty broadly applicable program, frameworks that can really be applied across lots of different private sector, public sector, small organizations, large organizations. Could you talk a little bit about that sort of the way in which this program is designed to really be industry agnostic and really to apply across these different areas? So how are the frameworks really going to be able to give folks what they need no matter what industry they're in, what work they're doing? Is this program specific to a certain audience, or is this really going to give everyone what they need in order to bring these into the work that they do, these
The,
ideas?
the aim is for this program to be accessible and be introduced to as large an audience as possible. The idea is that, yes, sustainability and circularity is agnostic. It applies to every sector. It applies to every industry. But how do we bring this to life? And that is where we bring case studies. We bring case studies of successful companies that have implemented sustainability strategies, that have implemented circular economy processes and operating systems, that have implemented impact measurements of these kind of strategies and business models in different industries and different sectors. That could apply to banks. It could apply to manufacturing companies. It could apply to the travel business, non-for-profit organizations, the garment industry, and so on and so forth. And this is how we include these in our program: case studies, case study analysis, and case study discussion.
Absolutely. And it's a rich opportunity for those of you in the audience here who may have never been in a case study analysis before. It's a really rich opportunity to take themes, what worked well, what didn't work well, and examine from multiple different aspects, companies and organizations who are applying these, and then lift from there those key takeaways, those key learnings that you can then apply to your organization and the work that you do. So, case study analysis is really meant to give you that ability to really lift those general themes out and apply them to the work that you do, even if perhaps it's across industries. So let's talk a little bit more about this program. Let's dive into these 6 modules. I'm going to hand over the spotlight here to you, Professor Safani, just to march through some of the curriculum here. We'd love to learn more about that through line of logic here throughout these 6 modules and how that curriculum develops and unfolds across time.
Thank you, Mary. As I mentioned earlier, we've developed this program with a view of trying to increase awareness about the whole concept of sustainability and how we link the sustainability strategy to natural capital. Then the idea is to go into 6 modules, where module 1, we talk about the introduction to sustainability and natural capital. So we take things from a macro perspective, literally the concept of natural capital, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil we use to grow our food, and the energy we consume. This is our natural capital. What has been happening to our natural capital, and what are the key elements that contributed to probably the degradation of our natural capital? How can we restore and regenerate our natural capital? And we talk about sustainability. We don't only define sustainability, but we describe sustainability. So we can define something or describe something. Then we move to the second module, and that is we ask the question, and that is how do we basically enable sustainability? What are the key elements that allow us to enable sustainability? Good business models will enable sustainability. And a circular economy is indeed one of the key enablers to achieving building a sustainability strategy. But obviously, these things cannot happen without having an organization that is committed and engaged in the area, committed to sustainability and engaged in the area of sustainability. So building a sustainable organization is very critical to achieving the vision that this organization has, achieving the mission that will go with the achievement of the vision, and then highlighting and identifying the level of ambition that each and every single organization wants to attain. So building a sustainable organization is key to all of the above. We talk about the enablers in different ways: technology, innovation, business model, finance, impact investment, circular economy. All of these are enablers to sustainability. There's not only one enabler. Different industries, different sectors might have different ways of enabling sustainability. So there's no one size fits all type of solution to a problem. And then we move to literally the role of innovation and literally the introduction of impactful solutions to achieving sustainability, circular economy, the regeneration of natural capital requires innovation. No organization is going to progress without literally thinking about innovation, whether it's a product innovation, service innovation, process innovation, business model innovation. So all of these things are critical to the achievement of that. So as part of this program, we talk about innovation, driving innovation, and what would be impactful solutions. The sixth point relating, or the sixth module relating to this program is about impact investment. And that is what we bring finance and financial decisions, as well as investment decisions, into sustainability projects, into circular economy ideas and business models. If we want to enable sustainability, if you want to enable circular economy, if we want to enable a sustainable business model, then we have to start thinking about what we call impact investments. And I go back to what I mentioned earlier about the 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps basically about what kind of a project that we can have that will have a positive impact on society, people, a positive impact on the environment, and that's the planet, and a positive impact on the company itself, that is profits and value creation, and so on. So if we go to the next slide and take each and every single one on its own, and if you could kindly allow me to, if I may, to describe each and every module. In the first module, we try to understand sustainability through the lens of overconsumption and overproduction. Are we overconsuming? Are we overproducing? How do we know that we are overconsuming? How do we know that we are overproducing? We know simply because there's waste. There's food waste, there's vegetable waste, there's packaging waste, there's electronic waste. there's construction material waste, there's all kinds of waste. So the fact that there is waste, and by definition, as an economist, I would say there's an overconsumption problem, there's an overproduction problem. So in this specific module, we also try to identify sustainability matrices, including the triple bottom line, environmental, social, governance issues. So in other words, we talk about ESGs. A lot of you have come across that in your own organization or hearing about it. And for sure, identifying what I would call the dashboard that translates ESG into some kind of a workable model. And that is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And how do we relate SDGs to our decision, to our vision, to our mission, to our level of ambition, to what we want to achieve? And in this module, which is the first one, we also analyze the sustainability initiatives used by some of the world's most recognizable brands. There's hardly a company in the world that is known that doesn't have some kind of sustainability statement, that doesn't have some kind of sustainability strategy, doesn't have some kind of a sustainability measurement, and so on. So this is in module number one. If we go to module number two, and that is the second slide that you will see here, and that is where we address the issue relating to the circular economy and sustainability business models. In other words, what can enable sustainability? What enables sustainability is a circular economy. And here we look at the fundamentals of a circular economy. We look at basically at what is a circular business model. Is there one circular business model, or there are multiple business models? We try to understand the differences between linear and circular business models. We look at how to circularize basically a linear business model. Do we have, and that is what we look at, the transformation, and how do we transform basically companies from a model that is linear to a model that is circular? And then we do our exercise here is to discover the benefits of transitioning to a circular business model. What would be the benefits in terms of financial benefits, business performance, activity, efficiency, and so on. So this is module number two. And then we move to module number three. And on the next slide, what you will see with module number three is that we will look at how do we build a sustainable organization. Building a sustainable organization is a prerequisite to formulating sustainability strategy. Building a sustainable organization is a prerequisite to achieving the vision of sustainability. Building a sustainable organization is a requirement, basically, to achieve the vision, the mission, and the level of ambition. So here we analyze the importance of building a sustainable organizational culture. Everybody in the organization needs to analyze, understand, and buy into, if they want, the sustainability basically objective, where we're talking from the top down, the bottom up, and so on. We learn how to build a sustainable culture and incorporate other business strategies in the program. We identify and navigate the potential pitfalls. Are there any weaknesses? Are there any threats to organizations of transforming to an organization culture that is based on sustainability and building sustainability strategy? So this is the module number three. And then we move to module number four. And module number four here, the enablers of sustainability, where we analyze how circularity enables sustainability. So how can a circular business model literally enable and allows us to achieve sustainability? We try to identify other forces that enable sustainability, such as the Internet of Things, technology, intelligent assets, infrastructure, government policy. Intelligent assets are very important. I'm currently working on a project with the EU on the Internet of Things and how we facilitate and enable a circular economy model with the existence of data, with the existence of devices, with the existence of communications, with the existence of locations, and so on. And then learn how to design waste out of the business processes. I'm like, if we can optimize, if we as organizations become lean and we design out waste, and by definition, we're heading towards circularity with big steps. Managing waste, reducing waste, or reusing waste in a way either within the organization or within the industry sector or other sectors where we could allow waste to generate income, to generate capital, to generate revenue, to reduce costs, is critical to this whole equation of sustainability. So that's module number four. And then we move to module number five. And module number five, what we do here is that we look at innovation. Innovation is an important prerequisite for growth. Innovation is an important prerequisite for any kind of strategy. Innovation is a very important prerequisite for improving performance, for improving efficiency, for improving productivity, for reducing costs, and certainly is a prerequisite for our sustainability strategy and circular economy. So we look at how sustainability drives innovation. We explore examples, different models that have been used by different companies in different sectors, different industries that allowed them to improve their performance in general, financial performance, productive performance, and so on. We look at the Resolve framework as a springboard for creating sustainability innovation. We look at the issue relating to Resolve. Resolve is, by the way, is an acronym that relates to regeneration, sharing, optimization, uh, basically. And then we have the L, the looping, virtualization, exchange. So this is an acronym that defines all of these things, and we look at that. And then we move to the final module in this specific program, which is module number 6. And that relates to impact investments and the fundamentals and characteristics of impact investment. So we identify the drivers of sustainable organizational growth from a financial perspective, how organizations build business models to achieve long-term growth, and then determine the value of impact investing using investor and non-financial matrices. And this part, which is module number 6, will be taken care of by my colleague, Professor Othman Cole. What I've done here is that I've just given you a taste of what the program is going to cover and what the program is about. And as I said earlier, we have so many different examples, so many different companies that have embarked on a sustainability strategy, such as IKEA, just giving you just names, but there are a whole range of different companies that are involved that have been involved. ING, Nike, Nestle, Adidas, Renault, BMW, LG, and so on. So this is where we are. And these are just very small number of examples that I can share with you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sifani, for taking us through that program curriculum. I'm going to take over the spotlight now and talk a little bit about the learning experience. Many of you might be wanting to know about the learning experience. So let's dive into some of those components now. You can see, as you know, it's a 6-week course. In the way that we think about weeks here, they're modules. So each of these modules has a set of content that gets released. And what we start with is week 0. So we call it module 0. And this is our orientation week. This is the week where you get to know the platform, you get to know the syllabus, the learning materials. You can watch some introductory videos, reach out to your peers in the platform, build your profile, and really get prepared to begin the program. And then we launch into module 1. And subsequently, we will step through those 6 modules. And at the beginning of each of these modules or each of these weeks, a set of content will be released that contains on-demand video lectures from both of your program faculty members here. These are brief 5 to 7 minute video lectures. Again, they're on demand. You can watch them as many times as you need to around a schedule that works for you. Those give you those core concepts, outline those fundamentals for you. And then you step away from those videos and you take part in a variety of activities also released that week. There are video lectures, there are assignments, quizzes, exercises, opinion polls, discussion threads, a lot of opportunity again for you to do that deep skills building work, roll up your sleeves and really engage in the learning, bring it to life in real time. At the beginning of each of these weeks, you'll do some goal setting. So one of the things we know works really well for adult learners such as yourself is the ability to really be autonomous with your learning, to drive your own learning experience. And a part of that is being able to set yourself up for success each week at setting goals and really working towards those individual goals from week to week. There are live webinars such as this one here. And just like this one, all of our webinars are recorded. They're put into the platform the next day. So even if you miss a live scheduled webinar, you're going to have that simulated live experience available anytime for the remainder of your time in the program, where you can come back in and watch that recording. So the live webinars are a chance for you to get face-to-face with your course faculty and teaching team and ask questions and engage. But of course, if you're not able to make it, you'll be able to go and catch up on anything you may have missed. There are weekly question sessions with your program leader. So what's a program leader? In addition to your course faculty, in addition to your peers, and in addition to Cambridge Judge and the Spreado ecosystem, you also have selected experts, industry experts who have been asked to come in and serve as your program leaders, really guiding your day-to-day learning experience. They're giving you individual feedback on your assignments. You're not just submitting for completion, but you're submitting to your program leader who's going to help guide that individual learning path throughout your time in the program. They also host these weekly question sessions or office hours, if you will, where you can come in and speak with your program leaders, your course leaders, your peers, and really engage deeply in the knowledge building. If you'd like to reach out for additional resources or you need additional help with the program, anything like that, we are here to support you. Again, you have that broader teaching team, your program leaders, and you also have 24/7 technical support throughout your time in the program. You'll have access to this program for an entire calendar year. So you'll have that intensive sort of 6 weeks of learning with your peers and your teaching team. But throughout the remainder of that calendar year, you'll be able to come back in, take a look at all the material, continue those discussion threads and that networking throughout your time in the program, and continue to glean on the knowledge within the program as you bring it to light throughout that year. So, a lot in store here for you as you think about this program and how you will learn. Again, just in review, video lectures, office hours. There are faculty guest presenters who come in, a dedicated program support team 24/7, and a lot of activities aimed at helping you to have that transformational educational experience that will allow you to leave a mark on the world. So things like question sessions, discussion boards, networking opportunities, assignments, all of this helping you to build that community and to build that career. Some of the assignments here are helping you to do that as well, give you that tangible takeaway that you can take away from this program and apply it again and again. This is called the Sustainability Workbook. And it's really a collection of your learning, a collection of these frameworks, and a chance for you to reflect on your learning from week to week. You'll have this workbook readily available and in hand as a tangible takeaway from this program, allowing you to, again, take your learning with you to the next level and continue to apply your learning beyond the scope of this program. In addition to all of that, you do have a chance to formalize your training and earn a credential here from University of Cambridge Judge Business School Executive Education. This is a digital certificate of completion. And again, it helps to formalize your training and showcase your expertise. Certainly, for those of you looking to springboard into career advancement opportunities, this certificate will go a long way in helping you to do that. So, we really thought about you as a whole student. In addition to your learning, in addition to really helping you to bring that learning to life, we want to help you build your career and really get that sort of acknowledgement as you seek to bring these themes and concepts to life in the real world. And certainly having that credential is going to help you to do that. So there's a lot in store. We keep saying that, but this program is starting just around the corner. We want to give you all the information that you need. If you have questions about the course schedule, when does the course begin? Any questions related to the registration and enrollment process, including flexible and transparent payment options, special group enrollment pricing, other benefits, our program advisors know all about those details and they are here to help support you. So if you haven't yet gotten connected with a program advisor, we encourage you to do that. You can go on over to the course website there. You'll see the link on your screen. And if you open the chat box, you'll see the link in the chat box as well. From the course website, you can do three things. Firstly, you can connect with a program advisor. We use Calendly. It's an app that allows you to select a time that works in your time zone for a phone call, and a program advisor will give you a call around a schedule that works for you. The second thing you can do from the website is you can download the full course brochure. If you haven't done so already, it's beautifully designed, comprehensive brochure, everything we've covered here today and more. So if you'd like to study ahead and really engage with the material before the course begins, get that program brochure, take a look. And then thirdly and finally, from the website, you can go ahead and begin that application process. So the next step is to go over to the course page, get the brochure, connect with the program advisor, start the application, and let us know if you have any questions at all. So, with that, I'm going to open up the floor again to our professor to come back in. We've covered a lot of information. I know you talked about how the case studies are really allow us to think about these frameworks and apply them broadly across geographies, industries, sectors. But what about work experience? For folks who are just starting out in their careers, is this program going to be suitable for them? And what about others who are perhaps leading large organizations, C-suite executives? Are they going to be able to benefit as well? Can you talk about that scale of experience level that you recommend for this program?
Yes, certainly. As I said, this program is really agnostic in so many different respects to different industries, different sectors. And we do us the interesting thing about circular economy and sustainability is that it can be addressed to people with experience and people who have not been experienced to this whole concept. So the program will be, in my opinion, appropriate even for people who don't have experience in the area, simply because it increases the awareness and it allows them to start from scratch to think about how they could develop sustainability strategies. And if they don't have the experience and if they are seeking to be employed by organizations, whether it's consulting companies, manufacturing companies, whatever organization, service-based companies, then having some kind of knowledge and some kind of qualification that allows them to share their knowledge about sustainability is very useful. So I think it applies to different kinds of people.
Thank you, Professor Stefani. And I would add to that as well. What we know about the skills of today is they have a shelf life of about 5 years. And for technical skills, it's about 2 years, which means what you need to know in order to stay relevant and to succeed in your career today is going to change rapidly over the course of just a couple of years. So, programs like this, lifelong learning programs that are designed to meet you where you're at, to be flexible around the changing times, and allow you to have that individualized, current, and modern experience are going to help you to stay relevant. So as you're thinking about sustainability, we're no longer thinking about learning in an episodic way. We go away to university and that's it. But lifelong learning is now an integrated facet of all of our lives as we think about staying relevant, ushering our careers, building our careers, and ensuring that we have the skills that we need to be successful, not only in our careers, but in our lives, certainly, and around this mission here. As you think about this program as well, that would be another thing to consider is that overall lifelong learning journey and the ways in which this can help propel you to really staying current with these topics. So regardless of where you are in that experience level, we hope you'll join us. We have all the support you need if you're just starting out. We have program advisors, program leaders, faculty, a lot of engagement. If you have a lot of experience, we want to hear from you. We want to know your thoughts and ideas and see those perspectives as well. And I think that's one of the things that makes this program such an enriching opportunity is you are joining shoulder to shoulder with folks who are at different stages in their career in different industries. And you're seeing these frameworks come to life, not only for you, but for them as well. So you're getting that broadened scope of understanding as you explore these sort of tapestry of ideas from your peers. So it's a truly remarkable program. And Professor Svani, I'm going to invite you into the fireside again, just to thank you personally for, again, putting this program together and designing it. So we'd love any final words of wisdom, any thoughts, any advice that you'd like to leave us with as we close out our session here today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Marie. I think what is important to understand is that we have a concept here of natural capital. We have a concept basically of trying to understand what's happening to the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the soil we use to grow our food, and the energy we consume. We need to think about our children. We need to think about the future generation, just like we're thinking about ourselves. And over the years, we've been achieving economic growth because of government policy, because of corporate policy, because of company business models. And all of these are great, positive, and literally invite a lot of optimism that things can move forward in the right direction. But we need to do that now, basically with a view of impact, positive impact on the environment, on the society. And we have the tools. We have now the tools that will allow us to interpret data. So why today? Today, because we are more advanced in terms of the tools that we have, in terms of the data that we generate, in terms of the analytical devices that we command, in terms of our thinking. We can try to achieve all of these things at the same time. Achieve economic growth and profitability for organization, achieve a satisfaction level for consumers, producers, and in addition to that, achieve a positive social impact and environmental impact. So we want to put all of these things together. And that's what we think we can do, at least as a first step, when it comes to a program like this.
That's a beautiful vision. And again, so appreciate you not only putting this program together, but being here to tell us all about it today. So thank you again for your time and your energy. And to all of you who've joined in as well, thank you for being here. It's been an honor learning shoulder to shoulder with each and every one of you about this program. And we hope to see you just around the corner in the course. Just a final reminder to pick up that link over to the course website from the chat box if you haven't done so already to get connected with an advisor and learn about next steps. So with that, thank you all again for joining. We close out today's session with a heartfelt good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.